Hello everyone, Bhavya this side. So this is the session number third of Python day 3 English. So basically previously we have discussed the fundamentals like the intro part of Python, how to install Python. Now in this session we will see the fundamentals part like what are tokens, equals, identifiers, etc. So before that, if you haven't seen that video like previous videos, you can go to the YouTube channel. You can search for the channel name. Okay, so from here you can search for the channel name that is JNtech. Okay, from here you can see the previous video of day 2 and day 1 of Python in English. Okay. So this is day 2 series. You can right click and open it, new tab, and day 1 series. Okay. So let's start series. I will use 1 to first to see these videos, and you can move forward to the day 3 video. Okay, or day 3 session. In day 1, we will discuss the intro part, what is system, how to install passes, the software that we are going to use in Python. Okay. And the day 1 series, in the day 2, we have discussed the data types and variables, like name conventions, is this the names the like different types of data types. Okay. Now in this session, we will discuss the fundamentals. So we will discuss the Python fundamentals as well as the operators. Okay, so Python fundamentals. Inside Python fundamentals, we have tokens, identifiers. So we have tokens, we have identifiers. Okay, so basically, what are tokens? Tokens are the smallest unit in Python. So tokens are the smallest unit in Python. Okay, basically tokens means smallest unit. Yeah. Basically, the tokens means every small value, everything in Python is a token. Okay, let's see whatever you see, the variables, the characters, the operators, everything in Python is a token. Okay, basically those are like special names. Like we have variables, we have characters, we have numbers, we have integer values, float values. But at the base level, everything is a token. Okay, so tokens are the smallest values in Python. They are the smallest individual values in Python program. Okay, like all the statements, instructions in Python are built with tokens. Okay, like we have the reserved words, we have the if statement, else statement, else, elif, or true false value, data types, variable names, function names, all are the tokens. Okay, so we can write here tokens are the smallest individual value in individual unit in Python. Okay, so now what are identifiers? Identifiers are the names given to some variables or some functions or some classes. Okay, means whatever the names given by the user in the Python program are known as identifiers. See, when we have the identifiers, like first one we have the name that is given by the user, and second are the names which is used by the Python itself that are known as reserved words. Okay, so we can say that identifiers are the names that are given by the user. Okay, are the names that is given by the users. Now given to functions, that variables and classes. Okay, etc. So they are the names that is given by the users to the, we can write here, functions, classes, and variables. Okay, etc. That is known as identifiers. Okay, then we have the keywords. Keywords are the special reserved words for Python. Okay, which have the special meaning for the Python interpreter. So we can write keywords are the reserved words, special reserved words for Python. Okay, which have a special meaning, a very special meaning to the Python interpreter. Okay, that is known as keywords. For example, we can write if, we have the else, we have elif, we have print, and we have or, and, in, not in, or we can write not. Okay, we have for, we have while, etc. Okay, like there are many reserved words which have the special meaning for the Python interpreter. Like they are the reserved words and they are listed in the Python dictionaries. Like not that dictionary, not that data type dictionary. It's like the special dictionary of Python. We cannot use these names as your own use. Okay, like these are the reserved words, and you cannot make use of it. Like you cannot name it as a variable, you cannot name it as a function, or you cannot name it as a class, or you cannot name it anywhere for your own purpose. They are the special words. You can only use them what they are made of. Okay, like print is a function which is used to print something. So you can only use the print function to display or to display the output of something. That is known as keywords. Okay, now this is identifiers. Now, in the identifiers, we have like many identifiers. No, this identifier. Yeah, we have the literals. Sorry, basically they are also come under identifiers, but they are literals also. Literals are like they are the special, like they are the basically part of the identifiers. Okay, inside literals, we have literals are basically like the data types. Okay, so we can put here like literals are the part of the data types. Like we have many literals. We have the string literals. We have the numbers. Inside numbers, we have the integer. We have the float, and we have the complex. Okay, and we have the boolean literals. We have the list. We have the tuples, etc. So basically, literals are just nothing. They are just like the data types. Okay, so we can just leave this as it is. So literals are just the data types. Basically, data types are like the data types. They come in the inside category of the data type, but they are also called literals sometimes. I don't know why the Python like made these difference, but data types are the data types. Like for example, data types, but data types are also known as the literals. Inside data types, we have the string, we have the int. Inside numbers, we have the int, integer, we have the float, we have the complex, and then we have the boolean values, then we have the list, tuple, dictionary, set, and frozen set. And same as we have the literals, we have the string literals, with the number literals, we have the inside number, we have the integer, float, and complex. Okay, so and rest are these are like fundamentals. These are the basic part of Python. Basically, we know about the keywords, and literals are known as the data types, and identifiers are known as the names that is given by the user to any value, any functions, classes, or in variables and tokens. Okay, they are just the fundamentals of Python. So, like these are the terms you can use, like you can like find it and everywhere. So that is why I just cleared it to you. Okay. Now data types we have already discussed what are data types. String are the ones any character that are inside single quotations, double quotation, and triple quotations. Numbers, integer, float, and complex. Integer are the non-decimal numbers, float are the decimal numbers, and complex are the combination of real and imaginary number. Boolean values, they are like they are like the they includes two values, true and false. Okay, list, they enclose inside square brackets, which is mutable in nature. I'll put comma here. Doubles, they are inside the round brackets, which are immutable in nature. Okay, then we have the dictionaries, which are inside curly braces. They are also known as the key value pairs, which are mutable in nature. Then we have the set, they are inside curly braces, which is immutable and mutable both in nature. And why it is so? Why set are mutable and immutable both? That we have already discussed in the previous sessions. And what is mutable, immutable, that we have already discussed. So we are not going in deep. Then frozen set, they are immutable in nature. Okay. So these are the fundamentals of Python. Now let's discuss the input and output function in Python. Before that, we have the input and then we have the output function in Python. Basically, input means whenever you are taking the input from the user. Okay. Like whenever you are taking, suppose you have created a calculator or you have created a form. So inside that form, you are asking from the user, please enter your name and please enter your roll number or whatever. Please enter your name, etc. So this is known as taking input from the user. So whenever you are creating a program, you want to make it flexible. Like whenever you are creating any program, you want the user to input anything inside your program so that you can display the output out of this. So we have the input function for that. Input is like taking input from the user. And now how to take an input from the user? We use int keyword for that. Int keyword, which is used for taking the input. Okay, so we will use, let's see in the Python interpreter. So I'm creating a file here, new file, and then name it. Let's say input underscore file dot py. Okay, yes. Open this inside your VS Code. Okay, oh my God. Okay, now let's say first name. First and the name equal int input. So input enter your name. Print first name. Okay, so we use input. This is input, not int. Input. Okay, so I want to take the first name from the user. That is why I'm putting input and enter your name. Enter your name is a string here. Enter your name, you are writing this. This will display as it is. Okay, you are asking from the user, please enter your name. So you are writing enter your name. Okay, now when you run from this side, so might be you cannot able to write something here. So press stop. Okay, now go to your terminal here. Here, go to the location where you are, where your file is. So my file is in desktop. Oh, sorry, it's desktop. Now run your file. To run the file from the terminal, you have to write Python and the name of your file. So my name of my file is input file, input underscore file dot py. Enter. Enter your name. Let's say Bhavya. Bhavya. So the name will be printed as it is. This is how you can take input from the user. Okay. Now how to take multiple inputs. So let's say last name. No, I'm asking from the user that please enter your last name. Okay, so when you run the program, let's clear the screen. Yeah. Python input file. Okay, enter your name. Let's say Bhavya. Your last name J. Sorry, we have to print this also. To print the last name also. No, we can run this now. Your first name Bhavya. Oh, okay, so your name is printed. It is Bhavya, your first name and last name. You can print it like you can print it together. When you remove this, you can just put last name here. Yeah. So we can put last underscore name. Okay. And when you run the program, okay, so you're the John, and then it's so this is printed. This is how you can take the input from the user. Now, like I'm as a developer, I'm just testing my program. Is that is why I am putting the name here. Like when you send this program or when you launch this program in some website or some in some like GitHub like platforms, then the user will able to input it. Okay. Like here I am the user and I am the developer. That is why and here I am testing my program. That is why I'm putting the my name or I am putting the input. But this program says that it is asking the input from the user. Okay, like the program is asking enter your name. Let's say your now the program is asking again to enter your last name. That is Sky. Okay, this is how you can take the input from the user. Now let's see the another example. Okay. Now let's take two numbers from the user. So num1 input, enter the first number. Num2 input, enter the second number. Enter the second number. And then print the number 1 plus num2. Number and num2 are the variables here, and these are input. Enter the first number and feed. So here we are asking from the user to enter the first number and enter the second number so that we can perform the operation that is addition operation. Okay, simple. So now let's clear the screen and run the program again. First number, see, whatever you write inside the parentheses, these are known as the parentheses or the round brackets, like enter the first number in the column here, this will be printed as it is. Okay. If you put enter the number, then the enter the number will be printed. But you are putting enter the first number, so enter the first number will be printed. So whatever you write inside this parenthesis, inside the quotation, this will be selected as it is. The first number is a 10, second number 20. And see, we have 10 and 20. Instead of 30, we have 10 and 20. Here, what we are doing, we are taking input from the users. First input is at 10. Second input, we have put 20. So, and we are adding the two operations, like we are adding the num1 and we are adding num2. So, if we add 10 plus 20, what will be the answer? 30. But instead of getting 30, we have 1020. Okay. So, what does this mean is here the Python is taking the numbers as a string, not as a number. As you know, everything that is inside quotations are the part of the strings. Okay, like here, what are strings? Like whatever you put inside the quotations are the strings. Whether they are the number, they are the characters, or they are the alphabets. So we are doing here 10 plus 20. So for Python, they are not numbers anymore. They are 1220, 1020. They are the just characters. They are the values, not the numbers. That is why just Python is concatenating each other. Like they are just putting or merging them each other instead of adding them. Okay. So what we have to do now, and why it is doing so? Because this input function always take input in the form of strings. Okay, so we can write here input function. We can write a note here, note. Input function always take input in the form of string. Okay, whether we put number, whether we put any character, whether we put anything, the Python, this input function will take everything in the form of string. So whenever we are putting 10 or 20, this number is 10 and 20. Means the Python or the input function convert that or just take the input in the form of string. That is why we have the answer 1020. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to convert the string into number. Then only we can have a addition operation. Okay, like we have to convert the string into the real number. That is, like we have to convert your string into numbers. So for that we will use the int or float. Int, or we can use the float. Int means integer and float means float. So just write int before that. Int, then input. Same as here, int, bracket, and bracket at last. Save it. That's it. And when you run the program again, clear the screen. Enter your first number, let's say 10 and 20. Now we have 30. Okay. Now what is it? What it is doing? The int is a keyword which is converting the string into numbers. Okay, you can even put float here. Float. Float means floating point number. When you put float here, and when you run the program again, sorry, stop from here. Just run it from here. So we have 10 and then we have, let's say, 11. So we have 21.0. So 0.0 is because of the float here. Float is decimal numbers. And when you put int here, like when you put integer, so your now string is converted into integer. Let's save it, clear the screen, run the program, 10, and then we have 11. It is 25. Okay, this is how you can convert your string into any, like into integer or a float. And this is known as typecasting. Okay, so this is known as typecasting. Typecasting or type conversion. We can write type conversion. Now, what is typecasting or type conversion? It is like changing your one data type to another. Okay, it is the process of changing your one data type to another. So that is known as typecasting. You are changing your string into integer, or you are changing your string into float. Okay, that is why we are changing our one data type to another. Okay, that is why we have the previously input is taking the input in the form of string. Now when we put int here, we are just changing the string into integer values. Okay, this is one way. You can also write in this form. Like if you want to write it, you can like num1 equal input, enter the first number. Then we have num2 input, enter the second number. Then you can change the numbers, like you can use a is equal to int of num1 and b equals int of num2. And then you can print a plus b. And see, if you print num1 plus num2. So here, let me run the program. See, first number, let's say 10, second 11, enter. See, we are taking the input from the user inside variable num1 and num2. Okay, so we are putting input, enter first number and enter the second number. So the user put 10 as the first number and 11 as the second number. Now in the line number 11, we are converting the the string into integer. That's why we have put int. We have called the integer function and we are converting the num1 into integer and the second variable b we're converting the string into integer and num2. Okay, we have called the num2 inside the that b inside b. Okay, so we have created a b variable at int and num2. We want to change the string type of like string data type into integer of the variable number num2. Okay, then we are printing num1 plus num2. This is num1 plus num2. Num1 and num2 are the string here. Okay, so num1 and num2 are the string here. They are not the integer values. They are the string here. That is why when you just perform the addition operation, num1 and num2 answer is 10 or 11. Okay, but when you perform a and b, that is integer num1 and num2, the answer is 21 because now a and b are the string, sorry, integer values. They are the string integer values. Okay, because we have converted your string values into integer values in the variable number a and variable number b. And then we perform the addition operation on the a and b. And the answer of a and b is the integer. If you check the type of a and b, then you can easily check the type. That is another. Okay, this is how you can convert your string into integer, and you can even put float here. Like you can even create another variable float, and float is num1, and we can put d is equal to float num2. Now we can print here c plus d. See, previously num1 and num2 always remain the string. Okay, in the a and b we are converting it into integer. In the c and d we are converting the string into float number. When you run the program again, we have the don't run from here. We just run it from here. First number, let's say 10, 2. Okay, so first we have put num1 plus num2. Num1 plus num2 are in that is string. So we have 102. 10 plus 2, 102. Then we convert it into integer. So we have 10 plus 2, 12. And then we have converted into float. We have 10, 12 plus 12.0. Okay, so this is how you can convert your input function into integers. If you are taking numbers only. And when you remove this, you can even do this like this. You can do this directly, like input int. We have put int before the input function. So you can do this like this also, or you can do this like this also. But what is more preferable? This one. Okay, I will prefer this because this is you can easily put int here and then input. Okay, because we have 3 lines of code, and here we have like around five lines of code. Okay, and when you run the program, this will terminal clear the screen. First number 4, real 9. Okay, so if you are taking input as like if you're taking number as an input from the user, then always put int here. Whether you are taking numbers, whether you are taking someone's age, or whether you are taking anything which is in the form of numbers, and you want to perform any operation on that, then you can use int here. Okay, you can put integer or float. Okay, whatever you like. And this is also known as typecasting, like changing your one data type from another. And what about output? Output is like nothing. It is like printing your output or displaying your output. And we can do this with the help of print function that we have already seen. Okay. So we can write here output means printing, or we can say this displaying the output on the screen. And we can do this with the help of print function. Okay, print function. Input is like taking input from the users. And input function always take input in the form of strings. Okay. Then we have typecasting. Typecasting means changing one data type to another. Now, What does it mean? You can change your string into integer, into float. You can change your float into string. You can change your like integer value into string. You can change your any data type from one data type to another. Like you can change your list into tuple. You can change your tuple into list. You can change your set into list, etc. So let's see. Suppose you have a string here. Let's remove this here. Suppose you have a string here. Let's say a is equal to 10. When you check the type of a, this is a string. Okay, when you run this, so this is a string. Okay, now let's change v is equal to. Now, if you want to change it in int, then you can change it in int, and if you want to change in float, you can easily change it to float. Let's print the type of data type the c in the b variable is storing. Print type is, let us see. Okay, so first print a is a string here. So we have printed a. Type of a is string. Now in the b variable, we have converted your a string into integer. That is why we have a b variable is a string here and c is a float here. So c is a float here. This is how you can change it from one data type to another. Okay. Now what if we have the string like this? We have, suppose we have apple. Okay. So we have the a apple. Okay. If you change this from one data type to another, like b is equal to int of a. So what will happen? Print the type of b. Type of b. See, here a is an apple and we are changing the apple into numbers. So when you run this program, this will throw an error. Because how is it possible that you are changing your apple, that is a combination of alphabets, into number, that is integer. So this will give you an error. So whenever you are changing your string into integer, you make sure that this is a number. String should be also a number. Like string characters is a number. Then only you can easily change it. Otherwise, when you try to change the string, like suppose we have this string apple, and whenever changing it from integer, and when you run this, we have this error. Okay, and let's say we have the 10 here, and when you run this, this will be easily be changed. Okay, because 10 is a number. Basically, it is a number. Why? Because we can easily see it is a number. But for Python, it is a string now. But so here we are changing the string into integer. But when you put any character, like any combination of character or any special character, so and you try to change it in string or sorry in integer or float, this will give you an error. Okay, no. But suppose you have a number here, 10. Now you can easily change this number into string. You can easily do this. Print, we have a. B is a number. Okay, and A is a variable. In the A, B is a basically a integer value. Okay, and we are converting the integer into string by calling the str function. Okay, so run this. So here we can check the type of A here, type of A. When you run the program, give string. Okay, you can easily put here float also. Like, okay, so this is a float number now. Okay, so B is a variable in which we have a value float. Okay, 10.88. Now A is another variable. Inside A, we are calling the string function, and inside string parenthesis, we have a B. Means we want to change the data type of the variable number B. That is why we have put B here. And then we are printing the type of A. Now the type of A is string because we have changed it to another. Now if you check here B, okay, print type of B, then we have this is the float. Because inside the variable number B, we have the float here. Inside the variable number A, we are changing it. Okay. So, but currently inside variable number B, we have the float. When you type A here, inside A, we are converted the float in string. That is where string is. Okay, this is how you can change. These are the like basic data types. Okay, you can easily change the list into tuple, tuple into list, etc. That we will see tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow we will see the how to change the list into tuple, tuple into list, or set dictionary, etc. Okay, as well as we will see the operators. Okay, so if you want to, okay, if you want to see the content of the Python core advanced, like what are the modules we are going to cover, so you can go to the website JNtech Networks. From here you can go to Python. Okay, scroll down, and from here you can see the modules that we are going to cover in the entire sessions, like in the upcoming sessions. Like this is for the Python core and advanced. Okay, we will use the GUI libraries. We will use, or we will see the networking. We will see the networking libraries, etc. And the database libraries. That is MySQL. Okay, and if you want to see the fee structure, you can see from here, as well as if you want to see the duration of the course or the upcoming batches, you can see from here. If you have anybody, you can call on this number. You can call any of these numbers and you can mail, or you can WhatsApp on the, okay, so WhatsApp on the number. And rest, if you want to fill up the form here, you can fill and you submit it. If you want any like query, you can just call freely. Okay, you can ask freely. If you want to see the content, you can see from it, both both of the that core and advanced. So thank you so much. Now next we will continue tomorrow.